Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I'm Bankrupt, joined once again by Jimmy, Jake, and Fluff.
Sure. What's going on, y'all?
Happening, beautiful people.
And today's matchup is, well, it's actually the finals, and it's Fluff versus Jimmy. Fluff is playing Red Vegito since we got new anniversary cards, fantastic. And Jimmy's playing Starter Coup, which is also a very fun deck, and a very defensive deck if need be. So let's see how this match kind of plays out. Like always, just buttons down below and links. Click them to dev reason, and they help you out like they help us out. Let's get into it.
How do those links help us out?
Well, one of them is for Whatnot, and if you click the link and you make your first purchase on Whatnot, you save $15 on your first purchase, and it helps us out because it lets them know that we sent you.
That's crazy.
I know.
Is that SSB Vegeta Future on the line?
Yeah, this is a fun tech. Talk about this, Fluff.
Yeah, so the general idea here is that you can use the promotion 1-drop Vegeta as a negate and then evolve into the Future on the line Vegeta if you need to. Otherwise, it's just a good charge to give you all 4 colors in your energy on one charge.
Real quick though, what is the purpose of that though, Fluff?
It basically turns on a couple cards. It turns on Almighty Resistance, and it also turns on the Whis negate, which lets you strike a life, play the Whis, and then have a blocker on.
Which is a phenomenal tech. Like as soon as you brought that up to me, I was like, I thought it had to be multicolor 4 energy, and it's like, no, it's as long as you have 4 colors.
Jimmy played this really well. Not striking into my life on that first turn. I don't get the draw on the swing. I'm not able to awaken immediately because I have to get the combo off to go there. So I'm still stuck with 4 cards in my hand. And honestly, I'm pretty nervous about this match. I haven't been coming to locals and I haven't been playing. So I knew there was quite a bit that I was going to have to work through to get this match. Jimmy's got much more experience than I do right now. And he's doing a great job of basically keeping everything off the field, putting a ton of pressure on me. He took me down to 4 life on his turn 2, which no other deck had done this night.
I wanted to kind of put you in a position where I was going to force you into the Z Awaken, which I know you want to do that. But I wanted you to do it on my terms instead of your own terms. And then I felt if I kept a big board state, that even when you do Z Awaken and get yourself established, that I would just have a board to be able to just turn sideways at you.
Yeah.
Which I did forget that there was a built-in removal on this leader, and it does ignore barrier. So
Yikes!
Probably my best option would have been to leave you at maybe like 5 life, and then establish my board a little bit more so I could beat you down without you put you at a low life total when you do Z Awaken. So that was a little bit of a misjudgment on my part, but I still felt decent.
Unfortunately, in the case of your deck, I believe the removal is back to hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like reloading the guns, like putting Explosive Spirit Goku's back in your hand is just giving you permission to blow up my threats on the field.
But it does remove the blocker. And at least in my build of Ape Goku, I don't have a ton of hard negates. I do run stuff like Release from Evil. I do have the token negates in there, but I don't run a lot of hard negates. So being able to block the big triple strike swings off of Vegito is really nice. You did choose to make me spend another energy on the monkey, which I was really fine with, to be honest, because I do get additional draw, and then I get another proc off of Yamcha, and 2 additional attacks off of the Goku, but use Sense of Being and just make all of my 15Ks null and void.
Yeah. That's the only thing that I could come up with is to try to use my defensive tools to make your turn harder and make you exhaust more cards out of your hand, because the hand differential was pretty large. I had a decent sized hand, but you had an infinitely larger hand.
Some of the tech pieces we're seeing just go to like the Z energy or being charged here, just absolutely wild. Like, you have pretty much some kind of tool for any situation beyond just using them as like fusion pieces.
Yeah. And that was kind of the thought. To have blue hate built into the deck, to have defensive options built into the deck, to have counterplays built into the deck, to have removal. So I felt really confident in this list. I was very inspired by Trey Faircloth's video. If you haven't seen his video, go check it out. That's where I took the core of the deck from. I was looking at Trey Faircloth's build, and I kind of went there.
I'll put in the link down below.
Yeah.
So to talk about this Vegito play, just fantastic card. Just all of the auto is incredible. Get a lot of card advantage. You get removal, and you also get to pick cards out of my hand. So there, I chose to burn a counterplay Vegeta to put the card in rest mode, so I could plus on the Bulma, play Explosive Spirit, remove the card. But you get to pick one card out of my hand, and you hit the only card that matters. That being Explosive Spirit. Any other card, don't care. Like, there's nothing in my hand that is that I really care about. That was the only card, and you were able to snipe that one card.
I got very lucky on that call. Otherwise, I get really punished. And you could say I spent the energy to remove a threat and get a couple draws, which isn't bad in and of itself. But this deck really thrives on having its triple strikers. So if you keep the triple strikers off the field, you eliminate a lot of the threat coming in from the deck itself.
But that felt really bad, especially after the counter window and burning that Vegeta, which I do have another one in hand, but I would have liked to have. I only run 2 in the list. I would have liked to have that second one for another potential threat coming down. So I pretty much just wasted the Vegeta play there.
Yeah.
Was this other Explosive Spirit already on the board, or did you just play it?
It was already on the board.
Yeah, it was already there. Yeah.
And I'm starting to get a hand now, and so it's just going to be kind of a grind to see if I'm able to grind out Jimmy or not. He did kind of accidentally flash the power of a Super Saiyan there, which kind of feeds me in that I have to play a little differently, lest I'm going to end up wasting a bunch of cards. So here, I'm basically just digging for another play here. I'm either going to spend 2 energy or I'm going to spend 3 energy. So I'm trying to utilize to my best and get into different pieces as I can do it. And I want to talk about this Vegito Z battle card. This thing is insane. This is like one of the most hyper value pieces that the deck has received. Like, you'll see here, I'm just able to grab the secret rare off the search with that card.
Would just get any Vegito?
Any Vegito. And the Vegito isn't going to tap a ton down on his field, but it's a draw 4 for me.
Which, I mean,
there's another prideful.
Yeah. So I'm having to just play around these pridefuls. And really, I'm going into these resolved combines for the draws to survive Jimmy's turn.
So does the 1-drop play a secret rare, or play the secret rare with an effect?
Yeah. It's the leader's ability, right?
It's the leader's ability. the leader plays the secret rare for free on top of Vegito's Z battle card.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
It plays an 8-drop for free.
I had to step away for a bit, and I'm not sure if you guys talked about it, but like that secret rare, you talk about like sneaky leaders in the past, like on Awaken they get like double strike. There's like Gogeta ones that do that, but me and Fluff did play earlier this day, and like turn 2, you awaken, and you're like, and Z awaken. I'm like, sorry, because no other Z leader awakens that quickly.
Mm-hmm. And here, once again, you got to pick one card, and you picked the one card that mattered. I don't remember if I said it out loud, but I was like, that just won you the game, because you hit the Explosive Spirit on the first one, which was the only card in my hand that mattered, and then you hit the only other card that mattered, which was the Ape. And of course, I can just pick up another Ape with my leader. But I run the chance of that last Ape being in my life.
Yeah.
Which could be a massive, massive problem if I don't, if it happens to be, and I lose out on that draw.
A lot of people have been playing one copy of the Saiyan Instincts, the pitch Ape. For that exact scenario, when you go to look in the deck for one and there isn't one there, you just grab it and combo it off.
But luckily, I decided to just go for the draw route, and that put a all too easy in hand, which is just great removal. Because losing out on my Explosive Spirit, I could not remove the one Vegito for free, and I really didn't want to go into the next turn staring down 3 triple strikers. So even though I am tapping out at this point, I still feel like it is it's much more valuable to me. I have a higher chance of surviving if I remove the triple strikers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that all too easy was able to clear up two of the Vegitos, the secret rare, and then another hyper rush. And that was just a ton of value there for Jimmy. And I'm really starting to feel the pressure because I think I'm down to 3 life here. And I'm just starting to feel like, okay, there has to be a window to close out the game here. There has to be something. And so I'm like, okay, release from evil. I've got to try to pressure still. Even if I can get him to take 1 damage. Now he's in kill range. I should have activated my leader's effects before I swung, but Jimmy released from evil here, and I think I end up throwing my hand down here. Yeah, and I said, that just won you the game. Because now I can't play another Vegito, and I can't get extra draws off my lead. I think I just passed the turn with 5 energy standing.
Mm-hmm.
Huge activation right there. Release from Evil has the potential to turn off a lot of decks' basic engines because they just rely on their leader swing.
Mm-hmm. Release from Evil is one of those cards that is like, it's just only got better since the card had come out. I think it was played a little bit when it first dropped and then kind of just completely fell out, and now like every yellow deck is running Release from Evil.
And even with decks that don't require unisons or don't play unisons, because also the new tech coming in next set kind of kills a lot of unisons potentially. For 1 energy, incredible card.
Yeah. With the amount of dual attackers and cards that can just restand themselves due to effects, a lot of like red Z battle cards do that. Even some blue Z battle cards do that. So being able to release from evil them and just keep them tapped down and they lose all of their value is really, really strong. While it's not a card out of the hand, it could be multiple turns of setup that you just turn off with a free activation on a card or even 1 energy if you don't run a unison.
It's almost like they squished Final Flash and Time Magic together.
Mm-hmm. So I was really trying to bait the block out of this Whis. I know you have a lot of energy open in a fat hand. I think I still make the play on this turn, but I was just that Whis blocker was just a problem. I'm also under you beamed up, and I'm under King
Sans
Vegeta's
energy.
or Sans energy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
But this Whis blocker was really like a surprising amount of disruption. And for essentially free, just 1 life, it's just a fantastic card for this deck.
Your Power of Super Saiyan comes in clutch and taps it down.
Yeah, I mean, it still felt bad because I would have rather been able to use that Power of Super Saiyan during the next turn. But if only we still had good old battering laser for Mirror Choppa battering.
Yeah.
You
did have energy for cooler here.
I was expecting cooler, and I had an Almighty Resistance in hand. And that's why I didn't tap the 2 energy for the testing the opposition here. And I'm surprised you didn't neg the Gohan here and try to get the triple strikes or the triple attack in.
Well, I'm under King Vegeta's, and you still have a massive hand. I probably should have just to get the boost on him, and then I can still swing twice with him, which is all I really would have done under King Vegeta's. But with my current hand, I felt that I could survive, and maybe 1 more card could fix it. So I went for the draw.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to sequence this turn. I know I have to get through that blocker. I'm probably going to have to get through... I'm expecting another release from Evil.
Yeah, it's tough because you've already played through 2, but it's so late in the game. If he runs more than 2, he's likely seen the 3rd copy.
Yeah.
I do run 4 in this list.
Which is just insane.
I mean,
so I play the Sen out and then throw Almighty Resistance on the release from Evil, so I get to keep the triple strike. You don't have a blocker up, so I know I'm going into the battle phase. And then here it's just comboing out the world and seeing if I can get the 3 damage to stick. If I can't get the 3 damage to stick, then you win. If I do get the 3 damage to stick, then I win.
And I really, really needed to hit another super combo off of that because I had not seen any other super combos, and was not lucky. I seen my other negates, my only other hard negate in the deck.
That sucks.
No.
Such a hard match, and it really came down to me getting lucky on those Hyper Rush Vegito hits in your hand. I think. I think had I not hit the 2 cards that I hit, the entirety of the match changes.
Yeah, hitting those 2 cards saved you from having more double strike pressure and also more removal. You got to keep more battle cards on field because of you hitting those 2 cards. And like I said, you could have hit any other card in my hand and it would not have been a problem. But it was you had 2 chances and you hit on both chances.
Yeah.
And it's like 1 out of I think I had like a 11, 12 card hand. Like you had 1 out of 12 chance of picking it and you picked right both times.
Yeah. It happens. It doesn't always happen, but it does happen.
So either out of sheer luck or just conveniently having all 4 colors in your energy. Congrats, Fluff, on coming out. It's been a while since you've been in shop. coming out and doing pretty well this evening. And we hope not just me and the guys here, but everyone else who watched our channel continues hoping you return more and more frequently. We know it's been a little bit more iffy just due to scheduling. And it's going to get even worse, unfortunately, when it gets to tax season. But we'll try to make it work as much as possible.
Yep, absolutely.
And like always, Fluff, would you lead us out?
Of course, I'll do my best. Let's see if I remember how this goes. Thanks, Jimmy, for an amazing match. I did have a lot of fun. Don't know that I'll be playing Vegito again, but maybe we'll see. As always, read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to, and Fluff out.